واجهوا أعتى رسانة عسكرية على وجه الأرض. ها هو الشعب الفلسطيني الحاضر لمقاومته في شمال غزة رغم ما مر به من إبادة لأكثر من 470 يوما. واجهوا أعتى رسانة عسكرية على وجه الأرض. ها هو الشعب.
Finally, after 15 months of extreme fighting, Israel and Gaza, or Palestine, agreed to a ceasefire and allow on the swapping of hostages that both parties had. Israel exchanged the hostages that they had against the hostage that Hamas were holding, those that belong to Israel and other nations. And this came up after Trump gave a very strong warning that if there are no release of hostages after his inauguration on the first day, hellfire will rain over Middle East. I think that sent a strong message unto these parties, and they decided to do what is necessary for them not to see the hellfire that was promised by Donald Trump. And that is not an issue over here. The issue is all this time people have been asking themselves where these hostages have been held and hidden within the Hamas territories. So that means that most of the people in Hamas, among the Palestinians or the Gaza Strip, understood what these people were, but none of them was bold enough to say where the hostages were, because immediately after the release, you can see most of the Hamas fighters are back on the street, and some of them are still threatening that they are going to fight until whatever they think will happen happens. I say they will never forget and they will never forgive. That sends a very strong message to Israel, telling them, we are coming for you guys, and at any moment we get that, we will do it. To some people said, there is a woman who said, they will send their sons there. They'll send their sons there to fight for every moment. Like they cannot let go. They will prepare their sons to go on the front line and fight. And this is so people say a generation that has been led, and that leaves most people asking questions. Will there be peace between Israel and the rest of the nations in the Middle East, or these fights will always be there forever and ever? You can see most of Hamas fighters are out on the streets again, as they used to be, controlling the multitudes. Trying to sending a message that we are still strong. And there are more chaotic scenes, that are seen as the 3 women from Israel are released back to their countries. Like, these guys are bloodthirsty. They still need one to have a touch on these women, trying to get them out of the hands of the Red Cross members. But what does that really mean, and what does it really send? Signal, or which signal do they send to the rest of the world? Are these people ready for peace, or their peace is when they occupy the rest of the world, when everyone becomes a Muslim, or what does it really mean? But again, we can't just say that way, because there are other peaceful Muslims around the world who are not chaotic like these guys, who are more radical in whatever they're doing. But let's see whatever unfolds. We hope for the best. We hope for the peace around the world, and we know it shall be well, because we are tired of such a wars, and we really don't want to see whatever happened on October 7th, and we don't want to see what has happened in Gaza after the October 7th, because most of the installments and the infrastructure has been completely destroyed, roads, houses, and many people went to be lost their homes and their loved ones because of that. So we believe that everything will be okay, and there'll be no more war, no more fights, no more hate against each party, and know that everything will be okay forever as we continue to live in this world. So we don't know. You'll leave your comment and tell us what you think about all of this. Will there be peace in the Middle East, or a sign an agreement was written that there will never be peace in the Middle East? I know most of you take me back to the teachings, some of the writings in the Bible, and tell me yes, there will never be whatever was said must come to pass. But I believe we can coexist. We can coexist and do things in the best way. So I can see the Mossad, Critical and whatever saying, let this image be one to explain why after 15 months the Red Cross hasn't been able to fulfill their mandate to provide humanitarian assistance and even proof of life of the hostage, just because the Hamas are rounding, the Hamas fighters with the Hamas labels on their heads are surrounding the Red Cross vans that came to pick the 3 girls that were released. And these guys I think they were demanding for these girls to be released so that they can do whatever they wish they can do to them. But we thank God that they're back home. You can see how the families are celebrating the coming back of their daughters and their women back to their house. It's so emotional to see it happen. But glory be to God that they are safe back to their families. And yes, condolences to those who lost their family members in the same fights again.